Alright, so here comes the exciting stuff. We're actually getting into CSS a lot deeper here. We're going to start to stylize things. We're going to be able to really start to see all the different things that you can do with style sheets. But the first thing I want to show you is what they call the box method. And this is kind of like, in kind of a weird way, it's kind of like the internal style sheets, external style sheets, where there's a hierarchy to it. And it's just, you need to understand like how CSS can affect the text or the areas within the web page here, and the box method is one way to understand that. So let's say we've got our paragraph tag and we've got our sample text within there. So let's go ahead and again, I'm going to get rid of this external style sheet, and I'm just going to go ahead and pull it back over into my document. So remember, I have to call it style. And within there, I'll apply my class, so that should still work there. I'm just going to go ahead and get rid of this guy right here. So anything within this class right here is going to be applied with a sample text style, which we've already seen that, so there's nothing crazy going on there. But what we can do is we can apply some additional attributes where you can see what the box method means. So the first thing I want to do is I want to set the width to how big this sample text area is. So maybe I didn't want this to run the entire width of my web page. Maybe I just want it to be a small portion of it. So I'm going to say width, and this can either be done in percentages or in actual pixels. In this case, I'm going to go ahead and just say 400 pixels. I'm just going to pick out a random number there. And if I save that, just so you can see what happens to my document, I'm going to hit refresh so you can see that it constrains it to just about 400 pixels wide. All right. So now here's where you need to understand the box method, and this is so you can understand the two different parts that are going in this. So first of all, I'm going to add a border so we can see the border, so we can see the rest of the box method really. So I'll say border, and the different attributes that you can apply within that border there are whether it's a solid or dotted line, so I'll say solid line. Then I want to say how thick it is. Let's go ahead and say maybe 2 pixels wide, and then we can give that border a color. So let's go ahead and, but this time we'll use a hexadecimal color. Again, I'll show you what those are here in a little bit. And let's go ahead and make it black. And I end it with the semicolon. All right, so now we should have a box all the way around our text. That's black. And you can see the text goes right up to that border here. There's really no padding and there's no margin to it. So that's where you're going to start to understand what this box method is. You need to understand the difference between padding and margin. That's always kind of the hardest thing, so this box method is what helps. So I want to say we want some padding around the box so that that text isn't going right up to that border right there. So let's go ahead and say padding, and we'll say 10 pixels. Now when you say padding just by itself, that's going to apply it in the top, right, bottom, and left sides there. I could also say padding left individually. So that would apply 10 pixels only to the left side of the padding over here, or the box. But again, I want it to happen in all different directions here. So let's go ahead and take a look what that looks like. All right, so now I've padded in that text about 10 pixels, actually exactly 10 pixels, in each direction there. Now the other part that you have to understand is margins. Margins happen on the outside of the area. So maybe I didn't want this right up to the edge here. Maybe I want to add a margin of, let's say, 100 pixels. So that should move this whole box in and down and keep anything that would be on the right-hand side or the bottom 100 pixels away from it as well. So let's say margin 100 pixels. End it with a semicolon, and let's save it and come on back and hit refresh. And now you can see that's moved down 100 pixels to the right 100 pixels, and actually it's giving some margin on the side and the bottom as well. So again, the box method is really important to learn because you're going to want to be moving certain elements within your page around using style sheets, and you need to understand the difference between padding and margin. So I think the box method is just a good way to start to understand what some of these attributes are within your style sheets and how to properly use them.